Slowly. Slowly but surely. Awesome. It has started. All right. So good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to another topic in our series, the Diamond Entrepreneur Series, where we want to just bring balance to our life. We want to have a work-life balance, although that it's not something that that is easy to do or works out fully the way that we want it to. We still want to make those attempts to have work-life balance. So we decided to put together this series to offer just some tips from some phenomenal women, since this is Women History Month. All of our women for the Diamond Entrepreneur Series are women, fabulous women who are, they bringing it to the table when it comes to their business and what they do. And so we're so excited to have on tonight the topic of finances. One of our speakers did have a death in the family, so she will not be joining us. Maybe she will get an opportunity to join us at another time. But we still have two very awesome women who are joining us. And so as we get into this, we have some things that we want to do first. I'm going to let my co-host introduce herself, and I'm going to give her the floor. I'm going to stop sharing that so you can see all of us. And I am going to turn it over to her. I'm Dorlita Blakely. So I am the founder of Diamond Entrepreneur. I did not expect this to grow into what it's becoming, but I'm so excited that God has given me this venture and allowed me to do this and to bring together entrepreneurs, to bring together people to network, to get to know each other, and just for us to go up in the things that were already destined for us. So I'm excited about this group. I'm excited about what's happening with it. And I'm just excited that there are others that are coming on board. So I'm going to let my co-host introduce herself to you now, Miss Marci Taylor.
Hello, everyone. And as Dorlita just explained, I am her co-host, and I am with WSMK 99.1, and I also have a podcast called Women Who Boss Up, which is basically, it's a podcast about women telling their story. I've had one of our speakers, Consuela, on. I had her on, and she's on our podcast, and it's aired on any place you can pick up a podcast. It's called Women Who Boss Up, and it's telling the story of women who rise above and become bosses, and they handle in their business, and they just have awesome stories to tell. And I want to welcome you all and thank you all for joining us with these series. Back to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. We're excited to bring this venture to you. But on tonight, the first thing we do before we get into the meat of what this series is about and the topics, we have an icebreaker for you. And so on tonight, what we're going to do, and we only have a couple, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, which will be fine. But what we're going to do is we're going to put you into a breakout room. And we're going to allow you. So what you're going to do in this breakout room, there will be 2 people. We don't know who's going to be in the room with who. So you'll get an opportunity to introduce yourself to someone that you may not know. But what this icebreaker is that you're going to go into these rooms and you're going to sort of interview each other. You're going to you have 2 minutes to tell the person that you're in the room with about yourself, about your business, what you do. It's your whole chance to spotlight who you are to that person. And so for you're going to be in these rooms for 5 minutes. You get 2 minutes to talk about you, then you're going to switch roles and the other person is going to tell you about themselves. This actually is supposed to take 30 minutes, but I don't think we'll end up taking that long since we don't have that many rooms that we're going to have on tonight. But once that 5 minutes is over, we're going to all come back. And what you're going to do is you're going to pitch the person that you were in the room with. So you're not going to pitch yourself. You're going to pitch the other person. And so we're going to bring you up to the floor and you'll have 60 seconds to tell us about the person that you were in the room with. So it's like you're their marketer when you come back, and you're going to market that person in 60 seconds. All right. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right, so let's see. We are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 3.
Got 5 people, so we're going to have 2 rooms.
Yep. So there may be 3 in one room. All right, here we go. All right, so everybody should be able to go into their rooms now. They are entering in. And so while we have people in their breakout rooms, we have a few minutes. Oh, and let me set my timer because we're timing it for 5 minutes. All right. So it's 7:19. So at 7:24, I will bring everybody back. But while we're waiting, I just want to talk about our event just a little bit. So for those that are watching us by Facebook in the group, or those that are watching us on YouTube, this is the topic about finances. On the 16th, we have another topic. And I should have had my
That's okay. I got it for you, Dorlita.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. So, hey, everyone, how is everyone doing today? We want to thank you for tuning in on our Facebook group, if that's where you're tuning in. I want to first like to do a recap on last week's topic. It was called Healthy Living. And if you know Tia Rouse, or she's known by Tia Mack, the health and fitness guru, she came in and she talked about mind, body, and soul, how you have to heal from the inside in order to heal from the outside. And then Marla Godet came in right behind her, and she was talking about all things mental health and mental wellness. Slowing down, being in harmony, and being proportionate in all things that you have to have a proportionate balance. So if you missed it, don't worry about it. You can still catch it in our Facebook group. Now, coming up today, we're going to be talking about finances. So we have Tasha Reed Outlaw. She's going to be talking about bankruptcy. And then coming behind her, we have Consuela Hopkins. She's going to be talking about investments. So make sure you stay tuned. Now, on March 16th, we have we'll be discussing life skills. So we're going to have Kay Farlow. She's going to be talking about insurance. We're going to have Shell Green come in right behind her. She's going to be talking about buying that car. You know, as women, we want to make sure we know the proper way to buy a car when we're looking for a car, especially if we don't have that man with us to kind of guide and help us when we're trying to choose that right car for ourselves. And then Ramaya Brown, she's going to be talking about buying a home. Now, on March 23rd, we're going to be talking about entrepreneurship. We're going to have Ramel Taylor. She's going to be talking about starting a business. And our very own Dorlita Blakely, she's going to be talking about branding and marketing. So if you are ready to be poured into, make sure you tune in and be filled with these little diamond nuggets. And if you want to be a part of the Diamond Entrepreneur Group, you can go to our Facebook page and ask to join the group. But most of you on Facebook already are. So if you know someone that's an entrepreneur that you feel might be able to be, this group will be useful to them, let them know. And also, let me just tell you about my wonderful co-host, Dorlita. She is awesome and amazing. And I gave her the name Tech Queen, because she does all things tech. And right now she is working on a Diamond Entrepreneur mobile app. You say, what's going to be included in this app? Well, it's going to be a network hub. You can view the Diamond Entrepreneur education series that we're doing. You could be included in the business directory. You can be a part of a Diamond Exchange and more. It's an awesome app. Am I right, Dorlita?
You are absolutely correct.
Did I cover everything?
You did. Also, there are a couple more. If you would like to, you can sign up for our newsletter that will be coming soon. You can find the link to that in the Facebook group when you join. So you'll get signed up for the newsletter, and you can be a part of all of the things that are coming through the Diamond Entrepreneur. We're as it's growing, I can't say exactly where we're going, but we're going somewhere. And so as we have entrepreneurs come in, as this community and this society grows, we'll have spotlights that will be spotlighting entrepreneurs and what they're doing, and how you can connect on the resources and get the tools that you need to grow in your business, as well as life skills. We all need to have those skills and that balance and that support. And so you can get the newsletter that'll be coming shortly. And also, we have a site that is up, and I will put that link in the group as well. It'll probably be posted on my personal Facebook page as well, so that you can go to the website. It's just a short one-page website, and you'll be able to get all of the information there as we start developing and growing and reaching out into the different areas of wherever it is that we're going. So we're excited about that. It's time to bring everybody back. So I think we've filled in that 5 minutes for you guys while we let our guests and our speakers get to know each other. So I'm going to bring everybody back. All right, and they have 60 seconds to get out of their breakout rooms and come back and join us. All right, so I'm excited to see what they've learned about each other as they come back in and they start doing their speed interviews or their speed marketing of the person that they were in the room with. All right, so countdown. They've got 35 seconds to get back, and they must be having some good conversations because nobody has come back yet.
Right. So before they come back in, last week Marla coined this phrase. She coined this phrase, healed black, hashtag healed black woman.
Hashtag healed black woman. Absolutely. That was phenomenal. So if you want to know what we're talking about with that healed black woman, please go back and watch the first episode or watch the first event of the series where she's talking about that mental health and what it means to be that healed black woman. I thought that was so phenomenal. She said she was tired of hearing strong black woman. They tell us we have to be this strong black woman. And instead of being this strong black woman, we want to be the healed black woman. And I was like, what? That was like a light bulb went off for me. Absolutely. We want to be healed. And so Tia started us off that way with the being healed, how to be healed. And one of the things that I took away from that was that we have to be healed from the inside. There's a lot of sicknesses and diseases that we have in our bodies, and we're trying to figure out what it is, why we got this, what's going on. And for me, actually, I'm gonna take a moment just to share a little bit of my testimony and why that first series meant so much to me. So for me, for 10 years, I went through a sickness, an illness, and I still have a few little issues, but nothing like what it was during that 10-year span. But I had something called hidradenitis suppurativa. And basically what it was is it caused a bunch of abscess all over my body. And so I've had 8 major surgeries over 10 years. I was going to the emergency room at least once a month during this whole 10-year span. And it started when I was pregnant with my second child, my oldest daughter. And I didn't know what it was, but I did go to the doctor. And it just, once they cut the first time, it just blew up and it became something that was so out of control. And the thing that they would tell me all the time was that it was stress. It was stress and it was hereditary. And so I had to come to a place where I was pretty much tired of going through what I was going through. I was living the way basically that I wanted to live. And I wasn't in a place with God. I wasn't in church. I grew up in church. I knew about God, but I didn't have a relationship with him. And so when I got to that point where enough was enough and I was tired of myself and I was tired of going through this sickness, I couldn't go any place but to God. And from that started my journey. When I gave myself to God, it started a journey of healing for me. And so God had to get to the root of the matter of what was going on inside of me before I could heal from that issue. And one of the things was the marriage that I was in that I shouldn't have been in was stressing me out. I was doing a bunch of other stuff that I had no business doing. And when I let all of that stuff go, when I let it all go, I began to heal. And this started in 2001. In 2011 is when I let all of this stuff go. And when I got divorced, I was out on my own. I had 3 kids in church. And when I got into my own place and I started building that relationship with Christ, everything changed. my body completely healed. All of that stuff that I was going through, going to the emergency room, going through all of those surgeries, all of it stopped. All of it stopped. So I'm going to tell you now that I am a woman of Christ. You're going to hear me talk about it because he is who I am. He is who I am. And so I'm not ashamed. When it said, don't be ashamed of Christ. If you're ashamed of your father, he's going to be ashamed before God when it's your time. And so I'm not ashamed to say that I love Christ. You can't tell me that he did not heal my body and that he didn't heal me from the inside. He showed me what my identity in him was. And so that's where all of this that I'm doing now has come from. So when she said, not being this strong Black woman, which I was trying to be by holding up my family, holding a marriage together that was falling apart, not having a career that I wanted to have, not having any of that. When I gave all of that to him, the strong woman thing was dropped. And I became this healed Black woman, which I'm living in today. So that's why it was so important to me. That's why when she said that, I said, we need that on a shirt. And we created a shirt from that. So we do have the shirt, hashtag healed Black woman. You can go into the Facebook group. You can go on my Facebook group, Facebook page, and you can see all of that. That's why that was so important to me. That's why having this series is so important, because I know there are other people out there like me who need something. They need to hear it. They need to be told in order for it to click, in order for something to change in their lives. And so that's why we have such phenomenal women coming and sharing their experiences and the things that they've learned and what they know with us as a community. All right. So with that, which was unexpected, we're going to go ahead and we're going to give them the opportunity, each of our ladies, the opportunity to pitch the person that they were in the room with. So to start out, I always ask for volunteers. So if you want to go first, you have the reactions down there. You can raise your hand and we'll let you go up. If you don't raise your hands, I'm just going to pick somebody to go up first. So who wants to volunteer?
I'll go first.
Awesome.
Good evening, everyone. I am Tasha Reed Outlaw, and the person that I was in the breakout room with is Miss Angelina Jones. And I learned that Miss Jones is a entrepreneur. She just started her business approximately 1 year ago. She focuses on bookkeeping and payroll services for her clients. She is currently enrolled in a program that assists businesses with getting women and people of color certifications. I really was impressed by Miss Jones, particularly, with her her goals and what she wants to do and how she wants to kind of get businesses on track. One of the biggest things that I've been seeing, especially during this COVID issue, is that a lot of businesses, there are programs that are helping businesses, but a lot of businesses are not positioned to get that help because they don't necessarily have their bookkeeping in order. They don't necessarily have their legal stuff in order. And so we were really talking about how, it is not a privilege to have these, you don't have the privilege of just wanting to have these type of services. You really have to have them in order to move your business forward. And so I'm looking forward to talking and with Miss Jones, in the future. And it was great to meet her tonight.
Awesome. Thank you. Who wants to go next?
This is Consuela. I'll go. Hello, ladies. I have the pleasure of introducing to you Wylonda Scott. Wylonda Scott is this wonderful, beautiful woman that inspires other women to transform their dreams into profit. Miss Scott does one-on-one coaching. She also has a membership group that you can join, as well as have 7 This beautiful woman has 7 children, 13 grandchildren, been blessed to be married 24 years to someone she's been in a relationship for 30 years. That's beautiful. She has a growing ministry and she is here to heal and help the women be inspired.
Okay.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. All right, so I have 2. Is that all right?
Yes,
Okay.
because there was 3 of you in one room, right?
Yes. So I have Consuela Hopkins, which is our speaker tonight. So I'm not going to go deep into her opening for herself, but I will tell you that she is a mother of 4. She has 4 grandchildren. She's been married for 21 years, and she loves to travel and meeting new people. Then I also have Latrice Scott, and I love her last name. She is the member of, she owns Divine Dime LTH, and she is the mother of 3. And she works as an optimist technician, and she is helping her daughter build her business, LDG, meaning by Dear Rain. And that's her clothing line is to build esteem through their clothing for children. And she's looking to start a podcast, and she loves music.
Awesome.
Awesome. And we have one more, right? Miss Letra Scott, did you get a chance?
Well, they did each other. So she had when she did me, she did the speaker. So I mean, but the main thing is that Miss Consuela, she is adding the with the neighbor to the hood. I thought that was pretty dope. She'll tell you about it a little bit later.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. So what did you guys think about that?
We have one more. We have
One more?
Angelina. Angelina needs to introduce Tasha.
Yes, ma'am. So I had the pleasure of joining the breakout room with Miss Tasha Reed Outlaw, and she is a lawyer. So she assists our community with their legal issues. I did learn that this is her second time with entrepreneurship and going on that journey after taking a little bit of time to try to get back into the corporate or government world. She just really wanted her own business and her own, to be able to control and do things how she sees fit. So applaud to her for taking that step again and continuing with that and helping our community and other people and organizations.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. We have some people watching by Facebook also. So my husband is one. You can read his pitch in the Facebook group in the comments on the video. All right, so we have a couple of people that have come in. If you want to say hello, if you want to tell us who you are, here's your opportunity. You can have the floor. No?
Hello, my name is Ramaya Williams, and I am a mortgage loan originator with Hallmark Home Mortgage. And I am jumping on just to enjoy the lovely dialogue that I'm going to hear from the ladies on the line tonight. Just happy to be a part of such a phenomenal group of women.
Awesome. Thank you, Miss Ramaya. She is one of our speakers for next week. So if y'all come back and tune in, she's going to be talking about buying a home. So I can't wait to hear that one as well, because that's a place that I'm headed towards. All right. So I'm excited about that. All right. Okay. So are we ready Are we ready for our phenomenal speakers on tonight? Ready to get some nuggets? Grab your notebooks, put your questions in the chat as we're going along. So after they come up to the stage and speak, you'll have an opportunity to ask some of those questions, or you can put them in now so that we can see them. But I'm going to allow my co-host to introduce our first speaker on tonight.
Yes. And our first speaker is going to be Tasha Reed Outlaw. Attorney Tasha Reed Outlaw is the owner of TRO Law Group and law firm. I'm sorry. Let me start over. Attorney Tasha Reed Outlaw is the owner of TRO Law Group and law firm that is focused on assisting individuals with fresh starts. Her primary areas of practice are criminal defense, criminal expungements, immigration, bankruptcy, and small business counseling. She is a homegrown attorney born and raised in South Bend, Indiana, and is a proud graduate of South Bend Schools, University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, and Indiana University Maurer School of Law, Bloomington. While at Michigan, she was awarded a fellowship sponsored by the National Institute of Health to study in Beijing, China, to conduct psychological research on how African American women and Chinese women cope with stress. As a student intern, hold on, I'm sorry, lost my page. There you go. As a student intern at the law firm of M. Holly Reno, she worked on a multi-million-dollar settlement that involved sexual misconduct of female inmates in the Michigan Department of Correction. While at IU Law, she was a recipient of a full tuition scholarship and served as a graduate assistant to the Office of Equity and Diversity under Dr. Charles Nelms, the first African American to be appointed chancellor of an IU campus. She also participated in the European Globalization Program, which allowed her to travel throughout Europe and study its legal systems when it was just beginning to form the European Union. Prior to opening her own practice, she's held positions with the Public Defender of Indianapolis Housing Agency, law firm of Lee, Cassell, Kuhn and Love, LLP, and South Bend Department of Law. She is licensed to practice in the Northern and Southern District of the state of Indiana and the Western District of Michigan. She also serves as a court-appointed counsel for the St. Joseph County Public Defender Office, court-appointed guardian ad litem, and adjunct instructor on legal courses at Bethel University and Ivy Tech Community College. She is a 2019 City of South Bend Black History Month Award honoree, 2018 and 2017 panelist member of the St. Mary's Women Entrepreneurship Initiative annual event, 2017 Indiana State Democratic Party Emerging Leaders participant, 2013 member of the Michiana 40 Under 40 class, and 2012 Trio Talent Search Upward Bound Luncheon keynote speaker of the 10th Annual Student Parent Leadership Conference, just to name a few. Attorney Reed Outlaw is a member of the IU Maurer School of Law, BLSA Alumni Board, Links Incorporated, and Alpha Kappa Alpha Incorporated. In her spare time, she enjoys serving as a mentor to young girls and spending time with her husband and 2 young children. I present to you Attorney Tasha Reed Outlaw, who's going to just break it down about bankruptcy. Tasha, it's all on you.
Thank you. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Marci. I really appreciate it. So I want to talk about bankruptcy, and now is really, better time than ever to have this discussion and talk about this topic. And you may ask why? Well, because of COVID. As a result of COVID, of course, as you all know, and may have also been affected by, a lot of people have lost their jobs. A lot of people have, lost, their primary income. And so as a result of that, a lot of people are suffering a lot of financial hardship right now. And in the bankruptcy world, we're actually expected to see a surge in bankruptcy filings here in late spring, early summer, and really probably for the rest of the year. So What is bankruptcy? Bankruptcy is a remedy that is offered from the US government that allows certain individuals to discharge or get rid of their debts. And there are some debts that individuals can decide to keep. For instance, people think file Chapter 7 bankruptcies. There's a difference between Chapter 7 bankruptcies and Chapter 13 bankruptcies. Chapter 7 bankruptcies are essentially considered no asset filings. That means there's not very many or much assets that are left over in the estate when an individual bankruptcy. Chapter 13 is different in a sense that there are assets that belong to the estate, and the individual that's filing a Chapter 13 case has to be employed. They have to have a job because what happens is when they file their Chapter 13 case, it's also known as a reorganization plan. And so what essentially happens is the bankruptcy courts reorganize an individual's debts and they prioritize when they're going to get paid. And they also kind of skim off the fat, so to speak, in terms of if someone has, a vehicle that they want to keep or a mortgage that they have that they, want to keep, if they're paying astronomical interest on that, piece of property, the bankruptcy courts do have the right to, decrease some of the interest rates that some of these creditors are charging. Chapter 7 bankruptcy cases, you do not have to have a job to file a Chapter 7 bankruptcy case. The only really real qualification that you have to meet is the income requirement. And so there's what's called a means test for a Chapter 7 bankruptcy filing. And that means that each individual state has a income rate sheet, basically, based off of the number of people in your household, and not the number of people that you necessarily claim on your taxes, but the number of people in your household. So you may live in a household with yourself, your 2 kids, your mother, an uncle, and that's 5 people, even though you may only claim 2 people on your tax returns. So that's very, very important information to retain and to know that it's based off of your household income and not off of the number of people that you claim on your income tax. Okay. And the reason why that is important is because the more people that you have in your household, the higher the income levels are that you that are there that will qualify you to be able to file bankruptcy. For instance, a 1-person household income level might be $48,000. A 2-person household income might be $60,000. 3-person household income might be $72,000. So as long as you're below that income based off of the number of people that you have in your household, you should usually qualify to be able to file a Chapter 7 bankruptcy case. Another thing they look at too is your disposable income, and that's income that is left over after you paid your bills, after you've kind of taken care of everything. They want to make sure that you're not having disposable income that, should you have to pay off your creditors, you can do that and not kind of take the road out of trying to file bankruptcy. So there's a number of requirements and qualifications that go into looking at bankruptcy. It is state by state. I just looked at the means test for the state of Indiana versus the means test for the state of Michigan. I am licensed to file bankruptcies in both the Northern District of Indiana, which is where South Bend sits, as well of Michigan, which is where Niles, Berrien Springs, St. Joseph, places like that, Ben Harbor sit. And so the means test for a 1-person household in Indiana is about 48,000, whereas in Michigan it's about 50 or maybe 51. So it's a little higher in Michigan. So those are really the basic requirements for filing bankruptcy. And again, you don't have to have a job to file a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Some people have Social Security income, and they have bills. A lot of times it could be medical bills, it could be whatever, the case may be, that they feel that it's right situation for them to file bankruptcy. One of the misnomers about bankruptcy is that a lot of people think that people file bankruptcy because they have a lot of debt that they've accrued from credit cards, and just mishandling and misspending money, and that is the furthest thing from the truth. The number one reason why people file bankruptcy is because of medical bills. It's because of procedures that they had to have done. And a lot of them, they have no choice but to have the procedures done. And so when those bills start kind of coming in, for whatever reason, and these bills are astronomical, an individual may say, hey, I just can't do it. And if you're working and you have those bills, of course, the creditors are, using every legal advantage and avenue that they have to try to collect. So they're going to take you to court. They're going to get a judgment against you. And they are going to, try to garnish your wages. And so in those instances, you may want to go ahead and file bankruptcy to make sure that your wages don't get garnished. In the state of Indiana, the creditor has a right to be able to garnish up to 25% of your gross income, not your net income, but your gross income. So, some of these creditors can really dwindle down what your disposable or your take-home income will be. And so it may be, the best remedy for you in terms of dealing with your debt. I would always encourage you to do a consultation with the bankruptcy attorney. I can speak for myself. My bankruptcy consultations are free. They're 15-minute bankruptcy consultations. And so I'm usually able to decipher and learn a lot from that 15-minute consultation, whether or not, it may be in the person's best interest to file. And in making that analysis and in doing that, before you reach out to an attorney, I would also encourage you to get a copy of your credit reports. Everyone has access to getting 3 free credit reports a year from the 3 major credit reporting bureaus. And you can get that credit report from a site that I'm actually going to type it in the chat. It's annualcreditreport.com. And you can get once you go to that website, they have Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. And you can be able to go to each one of those bureaus and be able to get your free credit report for the year. Just make sure you're at a computer where you're able to print it out, or you're able to save it, because a lot of times once you get in there and then you exit, once you have to go back in there, sometimes they may try to charge you to get access to the report again. Definitely, take a really good, hard, fast look at your financial situation. If you think or believe that you are a good candidate for, bankruptcy, whether it's Chapter 7 or Chapter 13, definitely, take that next step to schedule a consultation with the bankruptcy attorney so that they can help you discuss what your options are. Where am I on time? I just want to make sure that I'm okay on time.
You are good.
I'm good. Okay.
Yes.
Good. Perfect. And so the process for bankruptcy, really, some people say, well, what is the actual process? So a lot of the work in terms of bankruptcy is done on the front end. There'll be things that you'll need to have to gather and provide to your bankruptcy attorneys, things such as your tax returns, things such as your pay stubs, things such as your 401k balances and things of that nature. And just for the record, there are certain exemptions that you have that you can use in your bankruptcy case that will protect certain assets. For instance, your 401k or your retirement or your pension plans, those are typically protected. They're protected under the state statute as well as the federal statute. Social Security. Social Security is not even considered income for bankruptcy purposes. So a person that files bankruptcy, Social Security income will essentially, for the means test, be that really won't even be considered as income. Okay, so there are certain exemptions that you can use for your home, for your personal property, including your vehicle, that you can use that can protect whatever equity that you have in those assets. Once you get everything together and your bankruptcy attorney completes and prepares the bankruptcy petition, it gets filed in the appropriate jurisdiction. You have to meet the income requirements of that jurisdiction. Not income requirements, the residency requirements of that jurisdiction. That means you have to have lived in that jurisdiction for a certain amount of time. Once the case is filed, before the case is filed, before we get there, you also have to complete what's called a pre-filing credit counseling course. The bankruptcy courts are really, they take a vested interest in making sure that you don't end up back in that situation again. And so they require that everyone that files a bankruptcy case, unless the request is asked and granted by a bankruptcy court, that you don't have to take it. Everybody has to take the pre-filing and a post-filing credit counseling course. And that just gives that person counseling, regarding their current financial situation. After you complete that course, they give you what's called a certificate of completion. And that is actually important because that has to be filed with your bankruptcy case. If you file a bankruptcy case and don't have your certificate of completion from your credit counseling course, the bankruptcy court will dismiss your case. So you have to have that credit counseling course completed prior to, and then once you actually file bankruptcy, you have to have the second or the post-filing course completed before your bankruptcy case is actually discharged. And so there's a number of credit counseling agencies out there that you can use. The prices range anywhere from $10 to $50, for each course. And so that document, along with all your other documents, will be filed in the appropriate jurisdiction. And then about 30 days from the date of filing, you have what's called a 341 hearing before your assigned Chapter 7 trustee. Your Chapter 7 trustee is the person who will essentially administer your bankruptcy estate. So they will go through all of your documents. They will determine what is exempt assets, what is non-exempt assets. And they will, if there's anything that's non-exempt, they will distribute that to the creditors. And a lot of times when you hear about Chapter 7 bankruptcy cases, you hear about creditors getting pennies on dollars. That's essentially what it is. So they may take your tax refund that's not, exempted of $1,000, but you have, maybe 100 creditors. So they have dispersed that $1,000 among, those individuals, creditors that have put in the proof of claim to your bankruptcy estate. After that 341 hearing is held, approximately 60 days after that in the state of Indiana is when we look to get the actual discharge order from the bankruptcy judge. So it's about a 90-day process in Indiana from start to finish. In Michigan, it's different. Michigan is about a 5 to 6 month process from start to finish. They take a little bit longer in terms of administering their bankruptcies there. But right now with COVID, all of the 341 hearings are being held telephonically, which is excellent. It keeps everybody on time. The hearings last anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes. A lot of time as your attorney, you already are prepped on what's going to be asked of you. So you kind of know what's coming. It's very informal. There are other people on the line because there's just like one line that you call into and you just press mute until the bankruptcy trustee calls your name and calls your case. And they ask the same questions of everybody. In fact, a lot of times I have my clients call in a little bit earlier so that they can get a little bit more comfortable and hear some of the questions that are being asked of the individuals that go before them so that they kind of know what's going to be asked of them. And really, that's the process. You get the discharge order from the bankruptcy court, and you are notified that your debts are discharged. Now, say debts, I don't mean every debt, because there are debts that are non-dischargeable. And those typically, those types of debts are debts that are owed to the government. So if you owe the government money, whether it be loans, whether it be taxes, whether it be traffic tickets, if the government is somewhere in there, chances are you're not going to be able to get that particular debt discharged. Now, I do still list them on the bankruptcy petition just in case, but I always tell my clients that the chances are this particular debt probably won't be discharged, but I will still include it. And really that's bankruptcy, in a nutshell. And so I'm happy to answer any questions that anybody has about the process, and just glad to be able to inform you all about that process.
Thank you. Thank you. Very informative. I'm sure I got questions because I've gone through bankruptcy about almost 7 years ago now, and it was never completed. It was dismissed 4 years in. So
is it so that must have been a chapter 13?
Yep.
See, and not a chapter 7. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You could have converted it. You might still want to look into doing that.
You know what? I moved from where I was and the attorney that I had, and I think it was a little bit of fishy stuff too.
Okay. Yeah.
And being that I wasn't in town to be able to go to the office and sit, they hit me like, I'm supposed to make this payment by this time on this date. And that morning they sent in to dismiss it before I could make that payment. And it was like, what?
Chapter 7 bankruptcies, you have to be very, very careful. There are, unfortunately, some legal professionals that will try to steer people into filing a chapter 13, sometimes more often than a chapter 7 because of the fees that individuals pay when they pay into that reorganization plan. So, you definitely want to kind of do your homework on your attorneys when you are seeking out, a bankruptcy professional or any type of professional, really for that matter, making sure that you make an informed decision, because that is it's a pretty process. Like, as you said, once you file bankruptcy, you won't qualify for filing it again or another 8 years. It's something that's going to be on your credit report. In certain situations, it could affect you being able to be eligible for certain FHA loans and things of that nature. You may still be able to get it, but you may have to wait in a penalty box, is what I call it. You may have to sit in a penalty box for a little bit longer than, other individuals. But when you look at it overall, it might make better sense to do it that way versus trying to get maybe your credit score up to where you need it to be. So it's a case-by-case situation, and you really have to, make the decision that is in your best interest.
Awesome.
Tasha, I'm sorry if you answered this already, but what made you go into bankruptcy law?
So that's a good question. I am just really big on being able to service the community that, that I come from. And I see that there are a lot of individuals that are not necessarily taught the value of money, taught how to take care of business, taught the importance of having a great credit score. I went to law school with, individuals that, were not minorities who parents started putting their names on credit cards at the age of 11. So by the time they were 18 to 19 years old in college with me, they had A1 credit because they were piggybacking off of their credit scores of their parents. I never knew that that was even possible. You know what I mean? So I really strategically chose the areas that I practice in, because I felt like I wanted to really make a difference with a lot of individuals that look like me. And I felt like bankruptcy was one of the key areas. I really am big on helping individuals, fresh starts. I think that it is important. And, you don't know what you don't know. And so unless somebody really tries to, hold your hand and walk you through the process. And for us, unfortunately, we don't have that privilege. A lot of times we're, forced to find things out in more of a negative, stressful situation than in a more calm, stress-free, informed type of environment. And so it's really my mission to really focus on areas that I feel like give individuals, that second chance.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, everyone.
Great job, Tasha. I truly enjoyed you. Beautiful.
Thank you, Consuela.
Yes, thank you. That is awesome information. And one of the things that I was thinking about was when you were saying how you went with the people, went to college with people whose parents started things in their name. The what we see for our color and in our culture is that our parents, many of our parents used us as for credit, have put bills in our names. And so we don't rack up a good credit score. It becomes bad starting out the gate because we've had parents who needed to get the NIPSCO in their name or a telephone in their name, and they've ruined our credit.
Exactly.
So that was really important to know. Like right now, I'm to my last kid at home. So that's something that I could think about for her. I didn't have that opportunity with the older two who are out on their own, but to be able to start that credit journey for her now. One of the things that I've done is made an investment portfolio where I'm putting money into this portfolio for her so that when she turns 18, or I don't know if I said it for 21, but she'll have something coming out the gate. And that didn't happen for me. And I wasn't taught that. So these are things that I'm learning as an adult in my 40s. I'm learning that, hey, I can set this up for my kid and I can, so that was something that I didn't know. So that was valuable information to know. Only thing that I was able to do was at the age of 13, when you can get them a bank account, each one of my kids have gotten a bank account. And so now my youngest she just turned 13 in December. And so what I want to do is get her the bank account so she can learn how to manage her money. She has a Cash App right now, but I want her to have that bank account so that she can learn to manage the money and not feel that every dime she gets, she has to spend, and so she can learn to save. So I appreciate that information.
Absolutely. You're welcome. Yeah, it is important that we stay informed about, financial literacy. And, bankruptcy may not necessarily be someone's resolute or, the solution to their problem, but at least they know what that process is and what it takes to file it and what the requirements are. But I think that it was an eye opener for me as well when I went off to school, and I was just like, how are these people able to go here and get this and I went to school. I remember going to college and they had all of these, little setups and stuff with the credit card companies. And I was excited to go sign my name up to get a t-shirt. I didn't just sign my name up, you know what I mean? Credit card just because I wanted to get a t-shirt from that doggone vendor. And that was just the stupidest thing that I could have ever done. But I wasn't, taught or prepared for that. And so I think that, we definitely have to start preparing our young people for, those traps and not to fall into those traps.
I totally agree.
So true. Totally agree with that. And especially when you said something about the young folks, because I see, doing accounting and tax, I see a lot of young people, and we may have that conversation about where you are financially, where your credit, and they may have just a few things, and they think, oh, I'm gonna do bankruptcy. I'm like, let's talk about that, or look at what that may be like, but we can share this knowledge. What I'm thinking, I love what you just said, being proactive is phenomenal. We got to have more of these conversations so you just know the knowledge of, oh, well, maybe I don't need to do that. Maybe it'd be best if I, I just think it's so phenomenal. You talked about being in college.
Might be best to pay it off. Just, organize some type of settlement agreement and pay it off.
But again, having those options and being able to be proactive. I'm huge right now being proactive. We got to stop reacting to everything in life, especially financially. But again, the reality of it is, and what I'm thankful for is most of the women on this, we're all of a generation, it seems like, where our parents just was not taught. They didn't have the information, or you better believe we would have known better, because they just didn't have Google to go to, or someone that, just right at their leisure to be able to call them up, and then if they did find someone, they just got a little bit of the information just to get them enough to know, but not enough to know to make a difference.
Yeah.
Right. But now we are of a generation, we could do better, just like having this. Oh, Miss Blakely, thank you so much for even having this series so we can talk about these issues.
Yes.
Great job. Thank you.
And I love the information because, I understand that we as Black people, we, have a lot of challenges. But the first thing dealing with financial, they always want to blame it on the white man. But the white man did not make us go and spend our whole paycheck on a $300 pair of shoes or buy, different things. And when we get this information, it will bring the knowledge out that it is our responsibility on how we handle our finances, and even with us who went to school and learned how to handle our finances, attend groups like this and learn the information, we will be considered as outcasts because we're hanging with the white people, or we think we're better than someone. But it's no, I just feel that no, as the word says, our people perish because of the lack of knowledge. No, we're going to get knowledge so that we do not perish. So I just feel that as much as we get this information, we can go out and share it and hopefully get our people. And I love how she said people that look like us. Get people to look like us to understand that we don't have to live check to check. That we're priceless and we can live a life that is prosperous.
Well, amen. Awesome. This is a conversation that we probably could have all night. Talking about our finances and what to do. Look, that few minutes, there's so much packed into that. So thank you so much, Tasha Reed Outlaw, for that. People do not know. They don't even understand what they missed in just that information, and just the discussion even around that is so much in it. And is it Wylanda? As you said, people say that we think we better than them because we get this information. You know what? I am so over that. I am better. I am better because I'm gaining something. I'm gaining wisdom. I'm gaining knowledge, which makes my mindset better. The goal is for me to be better today than I was yesterday and to be better tomorrow than I was today. So yeah, I'm better. I'm better because I choose better. And so only the people that, miserable folks gonna say, you think you better than me. I'm not even in that place to say, I ain't better than you. I am better than you. I'm better than you because I choose to be better than you. I'm better than you because this is who God actually designed for me to be. These are the things that he designed for me to have. And now because I decided that I want to go for it, I can't allow that what is it, the crab barrel mentality to set in where, the crabs at the bottom want to pull you down because they don't want to go up. Look, I'm in a place and a position to help you get lifted up. Get lifted up. I put up a post yesterday because I literally, when I get on Facebook, I see so many people saying your bank account about to increase, and folks all on there. Yes, type in. I agree. If you agree, if your bank account gonna increase, okay, but how? How is the bank account going? How is that bank account? They gather around that, oh, my bank account going to increase, but how? So I'm saying I'm tired of hearing my bank account going to increase. But when we give them the tools of how their bank account should increase, they don't want to hear that. They don't like that. They don't want to hear that. So they want you to give them the fish instead of being taught how to fish so that they can get their own. And so I'm like, why? And I was part of the, I be on there, they be like, your bank account increase. Girl, amen. I know that my bank account is going to increase, but I got some work to do in order for it to increase. It ain't coming out the thin blue air. I know that God can do it if that's what he desires to do, but he put a work in us so that we could obtain the things that he said were for us. So I got to do some work. So we need to stop telling people your bank account gonna increase, your finances gonna be this, your credit score gonna be this. Yeah, but how? So come on, let's teach that. And we have this attitude that I got mine, so you just gonna have to get yours. No, that's not how we go up together. That's not how we gonna get it as a community, and as Black people. And you have some white folks too. I'm for all of us. But we're not going to get anything if we got that attitude that if I'm going to get mad, so you got to get yours. No, we got to get it together. So while I'm going up, let me take you up with me. I'm not ashamed to share my knowledge now. Yes, I got enough wisdom now to know not to let you use me and then try to discard me and throw me away. But there are some things that God has given me, some skills and some abilities, some gifts, some talents that I got to share and help somebody else. When he said, help your brother. Help your brother and help your sister. That's how when you give, then he gives back to you, pressed down, shaken together, and run it over. So we got to be able to do this together. And that's why I truly appreciate Marci pushing me in this whole Diamond Entrepreneur thing. I've had this group for, I don't know, probably over a year. I think I might have started this in 2019, but I wasn't like really pushing actually, I will say that it wasn't quite time. It wasn't time. God gave it to me, but not quite the time. And now the time is here. And God, I've been saying it. I'm in a place where I want people to get, hey, you get more than he give me. I want you to get more than he gives me. And I'm not jealous. I'm not in a place, I'm no longer in a place of needing to compare myself to what somebody else is doing or what somebody else has. Yes, I'm focused on what he told me to do and what he has and the journey that I'm on. It ain't even about the end result, but it's about the journey getting there. That's the most important, and taking whoever I can with me. So I truly appreciate that. That's the little preacher in me coming out. So we gonna move on. I truly appreciate this conversation. Look, the group is there. if y'all got questions beyond even this event on tonight, make sure y'all go and let it be a dialogue over in the Diamond Entrepreneur group. We don't have to stop it here. We can keep it going if you got questions. I'm sure Tasha is now, I think she's in the group. Everybody else is in the group. So look, don't y'all just sit and watch me post in there. Y'all get in there and let's get active, you know, and support each other in this. That's what it's about, and that's what it's for. All right.
Amen.
All right, so I'm going to turn the floor back over to Miss Marci so we can keep it rolling with the next topic, part of the topic of finances that is coming. This is, oh man, y'all don't even understand. Look, all right.
All right. As my co-host said, and everything she said, Tasha, first of all, I want to thank you for sharing all of that great information, and everything else that my co-host said, even some things that Wylanda said, it's all needed, you know, and we need to share that. We need to build people up, and we need to bring people with us, you know, instead of tearing them down. You know, we need some positivity. We need to move them forward. We need to get them out of ruts. So, I mean, all of that, that's all I'm saying, all of that. Yeah. So let me go ahead and introduce that next speaker. So our next speaker is, we have, hold on. Oh, Consuela Hopkins. She is the founder. Hold on. There we go. Consuela Hopkins is the founder and CEO of CDH Enterprises, LLC, consisting of the award-winning Consuela's Accounting and Tax Firm, the online brand of Good Money Multiplier, the community redevelopment of a new Huey Properties, and the nonprofit Suelasville Foundation. Consuela has dedicated her life to empowering others through economic and financial prosperity. With over 25 years of overseeing Consuela's accounting and tax firm, she has successfully assisted over 1,000 clients each tax season overcome challenges related to their tax and proper filing of personal, corporate, partnership, and nonprofit tax returns. She is responsible for not only securing more than $10 million in tax refunds, the firm also provides accounting, CFO, receipt management, and payroll services for both personal and business clients, both nationally and internationally. Through her work as a community redeveloper, Consuela's mission is to create economic revitalization through residential and commercial real estate. Her latest project is Suelasville's Office Studios and Suites, which provides 15 professional office spaces for growing entrepreneurs and their businesses. Serving as commissioner and vice president for both the Economic Development Committee and Venues, Parks, and Arts for the city of South Bend, Indiana, Consuela has received numerous awards over the years, including Business of the Month from the city of South Bend and the 2017 Person of the Year. Consuela currently resides in South Bend, Indiana, with her husband of 21 years, 4 wonderful children, and 4 precious grandchildren. I would like to present to everyone, Miss Consuela Hopkins.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. That was phenomenal, Marci. Thinking like she read about me. But thank you so much, ladies, for this platform to be able to come together and just speak about finances. Because as you see, I have dedicated my life to be able to economically stabilize and then empower our community. And so I'm passionate about this topic. So I did prepare a PowerPoint presentation. So I'll stay within my 15 minutes and not go over, because I could definitely talk about this. So if you don't mind, I'm going to share my screen here.
I had to make you co-host so you could share.
Okay, thank you. All right. All right, so let's get started. Well, hello, ladies, gentlemen, even those who may be watching, maybe some men in the room as well. I am Consuela Hopkins. I am the CEO of Consuela's Accounting and Tax Firm, and this is a pleasure and an honor being here to speak with you tonight. Like yourself, I'm a woman who is always looking for ways to have a work-life balance and harmony. I'm excited to share with you investment basics tonight, how to make your money work for you. So let's get started. Let me share with you a little bit about my business or businesses. Consuela's Accounting and Tax Services, like I said, I am the founder and CEO of Consuela's Accounting and Tax Firm. And we talked a little bit about that already, right? We've been in business 27 years now. That's such an awesome pleasure. We're a full service accounting firm. We are a multi-million dollar producing business right here in our community and purposely here to show people that you can succeed doing the right things and putting the right things in place. And I'm also responsible, our firm, for over producing every year over $100 million in tax refunds for our clients, not only locally, but also both nationally and internationally. The skills that I've brought from my accounting firm has allowed me to earn the nickname of Good Money Multiplier, where I now travel the world teaching 6 or 7 figure earners how to see the money they didn't know they had and showing them how to multiply their income with business, personal, and financial strategies, consulting, coaching, and online programming. A characteristic an entrepreneur needs to always have is to be able to look around and see a need. So as I looked around South Bend, I saw my own community was in need of economic healing. So instead of waiting for someone else to fill the need, I decided to take power into my own hands and started a New Huey Properties LLC. A New Huey Properties LLC mission is to create purposeful opportunity, work in economic revitalization. That's what we call our C power, right? By providing quality homes for rent and to buy and develop commercial and retail buildings to increase commerce and economic prosperity for our community. Currently, we have 20 homes and lots and commercial spaces, properties, and in our portfolio right now. And as we spoke about before, right now, our latest investment and portfolio project is the Voss, Swaleysville Office Studios and Suites. Now, what I do want to, we also educate our community. And I think I spoke a little bit about that earlier, where we are now adding a neighbor. We're adding a neighbor back to hood. No longer are we living in a hood. We're talking about a neighborhood, restoring through education and healing our community through what we call as 4 universities: Kids Play University, Tenant University, Business University, and as well as Landlord University. But these circumstances allowed me, let me go back a little bit here. One of the things that I wanted to just make sure everybody understood, that one of the things that I have been through just growing up, right, allowed me to, it's been tough. I had a hard upbringing because I was a mother first at 16 and then again at 19. And a lot of people don't understand that. But those circumstances allowed me to be introduced to what I call real money matters early. You see, I had to learn early that money was something that you had to respect and to monitor. So as a 19-year-old college student, I prayed and asked God how to show me how to live within my means and budget what little money I had. I had to learn how to organize and create systems that would allow me to balance it all, including my schoolwork and my children's schoolwork and extra activities they may have been in. I also learned that I had to invest my money, invest my time, and those things that would bring me a return. So I had to invest in me. Just like I'm saying right now, I need you to think about really investing in you and what does that really look like? So financially and self-investment were the keys to success. So I wanted to share some of those investment basics that will help you on your journey tonight. So first, let's establish and be clear that in order to see and multiply all the abundance that has been assigned to you, you must understand the basics. You must take ownership over what you've been called to do and multiply like the mogul you are. So what is investing? Investments is basically committing your money, committing your time, and committing energy for the future. Right? And we can do investment. So why should we invest? Right? Why should we invest? You want to invest because of like wealth creation. Investing your money allows it to grow and create wealth for generations to come. So you want to accomplish financial goals. The return on your investment can be used towards major financial goals. Someone talked about it, such as buying a home, right? Buying a car, starting your own business, and putting your children through college. Now, I know personally, I have literally done all of these by investing, by putting small things aside. And my great grandmother, I remember when I was younger, I used to see her, picking up a penny. And so that's one of the things in one of my classes I teach people, don't walk past, even if it's change, pick up that change, because those pennies turns into dollars and dollars turn into millions. It happens. So, don't overlook the small things is what I'm saying. Even when you're talking about investing, it's so key. But you want to save also on your taxes. Investing can help you save taxes. And there's accounts such as 401ks, your Roth IRA, and others where taxes on investments are lowered or non-existent. You also want to invest for high rates of return. Investing in the market could provide you returns upwards to 20% on your money if given the right time in the horizon. Now, when should you invest? While it's always better to begin investing soon rather than later, there's a few things you should consider before you begin, building your investment portfolio. One, are you financially fit? Do you have enough money to cover the essential expenses? Investing will tie up your money for some time. So you should make sure your essential needs are covered before you begin investing. I always say and press upon you tonight, you want to establish an emergency fund before you invest. I have a quote by Dave Ramsey. He says, your income is your most important wealth building tool. As long as it's tied up in monthly debt payments, you can't build wealth, right? So what are you going to do with the money? Your investment choices will differ just depending on where you are. Are you planning on using it for a down payment, again, on a house or college? Or do you plan to use it? How do you plan to use it for the next 5 to 10 years? Or maybe you want to use it to invest in funds for your early retirement. Determine the money, how you want to use it first, right? Do you understand that your investment options, you actually have options? It's important to realize that you will make more money with a long-term investment strategy than you will, if you hope to make a quick buck by the day trading or buying and selling securities real quickly, right? So you do have investment options, and I just wanted to share a few of them here. There's stocks, 401ks or 403b, bonds, mutual funds. One of my favorites, real estate. There's also antiques, there's arts, and there's collectibles. I like to put things on here that people don't really think about. It's not only the stock market is what I really wanted to press upon. And more importantly, is think outside the box. You want to make sure that you do have your emergency fund put aside. And then what? Then think about some of the things that you can do after that. Now, these are 5 golden rules of Consuela for investing. I want you to be clear about your financial goals. What are your financial goals? Write that down. Just be clear. Where are you trying to go? What do you want to accomplish? And dream big. To know me, I'm that gal, right, that go big or go home. But be clear, whatever it is. But just think about, what are your financial goals? What is your goal for this week, this month, this year? Then I always go 3, 5, 10, 20 years. But think it through. I'm literally talking about a plan right now where for our community, I want to build a 200-year plan for our community. Is what we're thinking of. You know, just thinking about tomorrow is not good enough. We need to be planning for our children, like we talked about in the other segment, right? To understand what their wealth is really about, right? Number two, know your net worth. What are you currently worth? What are your assets? What are your liabilities? You need to know what your net worth is. It's one of those, also your personal net worth. When you even go into a bank or you're doing a lot of things financially, they're going to want to know that. You know, we could talk about how do you calculate your net worth? 3, invest, but don't gamble. Do your research. You do not want to just, take the word of someone else that this may be a good deal, or oh, this sound good, or do it because everyone else is doing it. We want to make sure that you are truly investing. Do your research, do your homework, invest in what you understand. And that's number 4. I need you to do your homework. Invest in the businesses you understand. It could be, again, it could be real estate, stocks, 401ks. Nowadays, you definitely want to enlist in a confidant, a mentor, a financial provider that will help you talk through some of these. But just even knowing the basic and doing the basic research yourself, I believe as women, since I'm talking to women entrepreneurs here, we deserve and we owe it to ourselves to do the homework and to invest and really research those things that we want to invest in, no matter how simple they are, how long people have been talking about them, right? But last but not least, one of the things I wanted to make sure we shared was be aware of fear and greed, right? Don't invest out of fear. A lot of people, say, well, I'm just going to do it, and just do something. You want to make sure that you definitely don't invest, from fear or greed. Don't let your emotions dictate your investment decisions. Again, the more educated you are, the more sound mind you have, the more knowledge. And I believe that knowledge is power. And what I also want to say here too is that, we need money. Money is a ends to a means. Now the word of God says you don't love money, but you show better respect it and understand what it can do for you when you learn to invest and I can teach you truly how to multiply your money in investing. So if you have any questions, please contact me at hello@consuelos.com or by phone at 574-287-1040. Or you can schedule an appointment with me at scheduleconsuelos, and it's plural.com. I can also be found on all social media platforms at Consuelos Accounting and Tax Firm. But in closing, it has been an honor to speak to you. Truly know that I'm excited about what you can do with your business, the things that you are doing, how even the business income, how you can multiply that and invest it, and how there's so many tax brackets and tax shelters that you can do with your investment when your own business income. So if you desire to be the first generation millionaire in your family, or create a good money multiplier blueprint to see the money you didn't know you had and then learn how to multiply it, or 2, you just need to learn how to budget and forecast your income, your expenses, and cash flow for profitability. You want to be profitable, and you want to know ahead of time what it's going to take to be profitable. Or even you need to understand how to receive funding for a bank to grow your business. Or 3, you want to lease a professional private office space without the overhead and cost of renting a huge brick and mortar office. Please make sure you contact me. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for your time, ladies, and have a blessed day.
Awesome. That is some awesome information. I was over here. Look, I finally got to write down some notes. So I'm over here writing the 5 golden rules of investing.
Yes.
Whew. Questions.
my information's in there.
Look, I'm
No
trying
questions.
to copy it so I can put it in the Facebook group under the video too.
Mhm. And you know, one of the things too, I know that for investing, 'cause I thought it all depends on like what level you are. And that's why I always talk about where you're at in your business. If you're just starting out, right, you want to make sure you just have a really sound foundation in your business. You know, or are you seasoned, right? And you really are looking at investing some different options to do with your surplus, with your profit. And so I wanted to make sure I just really kept it simple, that everyone, you know, would need to know some of the things you need to do to just to invest. And one thing I didn't put in here just because of time was about your risk level. You know, do you like taking risk, right? Are you a risky person? You know, do you just do moderate risk at all? So there's different levels to it. It's really something, there's different levels to it. Again, if you're a beginner, you know, for teens and young adults. I do have a class for teen and young adults. I do see that in the or beginners. We do. We are literally at Savos. We're starting to do monthly classes where for our Kids Play Universe is what we call it, where we're really teaching entrepreneurship for our children, kidspreneurs, and just teaching them how to know these things right here, how to invest, how to start a business, how to run a business. And we also are doing that as well for adults. So we do. Please reach out to us. We can schedule a consultation right at scheduleconsuelas.com.
Is there an age limit for the
No.
teens and young adults?
Because they're both for teens, and then there is no age limit. If anyone can sit and want to talk about some money, we're gonna talk about it. And so that doesn't mean how young they are. And then because everyone has a different foundation of their money skills, I'll pretty much sit and talk with them first, and then we put everybody in their class where they can really get to enjoy one another and feed off of one another. So there's no age limits at all. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And this is a year of collaboration. So last year and this year, and it's still continuing on. It's about collaboration. So again, what Mrs. Reed, Tasha Reed Outlaw was talking about, you know, even about bankruptcy. We're bringing in others so we can truly financially, economically stabilize our community, our families, and then reach on to prosperity.
I love it, because one of the things that I found, and not just with us adults, I mean, we're never too old to learn these things, but right now, like our kids are in school, they're not being taught the basic things that we learned in school, like how to balance a checkbook, you know. Yeah, they are not being taught that. They are
At
not
all.
being taught that.
No. And so we're doing that. I also invested in the game from Rich Dad Poor Dad, Cash Flow.
Great book.
Love the book. The game is phenomenal. There's one for children and also for adults. And it's amazing. It teaches you investment, it teaches you decisions. So we like to play that just to get everyone talking, you know, about that. And COVID, you know, right before COVID, we were planning these parties. So, you know, I'm looking at soon that we'll be doing more about that. But we have to teach the basics. How do you balance your checkbook? Just because the money is there does not mean that you can just spend it, right? You can't. I tell my children all the time, you can't spend the same money twice. You just can't do it.
Yep.
But you can multiply it, but you can multiply it. And, you know, and my grandfather called me the great multiplier. When I was younger, I didn't understand it. Oh, but I understand today, like you were saying, when you become healed and you start listening to what your purpose is and you just walk in it. Oh, it's a phenomenal thing, beautiful thing, and I'm thankful for it. So I would love the opportunity to multiply anybody's money out there, and just show you how to do it. It is a beautiful thing.
Yes. Yes. I have to get your information about the class, especially for the young people. My husband, one of the things he's interested in, and he keep getting me kind of caught up in is mentoring. So he's teaching at Edison Middle School.
Yeah.
And so we're learning so much about, you know, what the kids are learning, what they know and what they don't know. And my husband keeps attaching these kids to me.
Well, we'll collaborate. We'll collaborate. If you bring them, and I love, because we have to want to be able to educate. It's all about educating, because again, I know finances, but there's a lot of things like yourself, with marketing and beauty tips, right? I love that about you, but those are things that, okay, I know how to make it do what it do. However, I stay in my lane. I stay in my lane. I do what I do, and then I empower others. I help circulate that income by bringing you on for what I need, right? And those are the things that we have to do. But education for finances is a must. So we're just looking forward to doing that.
Yeah, it is. It is, and I think teaching them about entrepreneurship, and we were taught that we need to go to school, get a college education and get you a good job. And that is what we've been taught, but not much about entrepreneurship, how to own your own business and manage your money. And these are things that I've had to learn. I didn't have mentors. I still don't really have mentors that are, I'm learning as I go. And that was one of the things that God told me, so I'm not mad about it, because I used to cry and ask, well, everybody got somebody that's helping them. Everybody they got their little teams. But he said that nobody would be able to get the credit for what he was going to do in my life. And so a lot of the things I do is because he's teaching me how to do these things. I was upset. I'm gonna be honest. I was upset because I'm going through the hard part of learning all of this stuff, and then I got to turn around, and teach it to somebody, when I did see other people who had folks that could help, give them what they needed and open those doors. But now he's designed for me to be able to open that door for other people. So I'm not, I had to wrap my mind around that and understand what God was doing in my life. To be in a place of being content. Okay, you're giving me this to be able to help somebody else.
That's right.
And that's what this journey is about. So I'm excited. I'm not mad. I wasn't no big kid person, but as these kids, I see the need. Mines are they pretty much up there. I only got one left, but my husband loves the youth.
Mm-hmm. Well, we gotta if we're not taking care of our youth and our elders, what are we doing? What are we doing? True. And on all aspects, everyone needs this. And on all aspects, we have to, like you were just saying, we just gotta educate, because, and therefore, when you educate someone, then you can hold them accountable, right? Mm-hmm. If you don't know, you don't know. So I'm of the school. That's why I said, okay, because the entrepreneurship journey for all those entrepreneurs, it's a lonely journey. Trust and believe that. It's lonely because nobody's going to get to what the Lord is doing for you. And how do you want to get, where you're trying to get to. But then also just trying to figure things out. But it's great when you are able to partner with other women, other men who get the journey. But even in that, there's still certain things you have to go at it alone. And your finances, a big part of that, because you got to sit down and look at your numbers. You got to sit down and say, okay, what was my income, my cash flow, what I spend, do all these reports, or hire someone to do so. But even that, you got to do the research. Who is the best fit for me? So but it's a wonderful journey. It's so worth it. And not everybody, right now, everybody should have their own, their own business. And to a point, I do believe that, but you got to know when. You got to be ready for it. So if that means you need to go work for someone else and get you some good teaching of what excellence is about in running the business, get you some integrity, understand what it's like to be on time, because your money, all this is predicated off of your money, all of that, your reputation, all of that. So get some knowledge, and it's okay to go work for someone else and build them up so that you're ready also to get on your own. Everybody now if I'm making money for them, I might as well make it for them. I don't want to make it for them. I want to do it for myself. But you don't have the skills yet. You don't have the resources yet. You're not even ready. Partner with someone, build someone else up. It's okay. It's okay to help someone else grow, until you're ready. And if you do it right, I guarantee you they're going to be your seed money to help you get started.
I was going to say that they're going to help you grow. You help them
grow. But that's another mindset that we see. And it's just not, in our community. It's truly all over the world. We got to understand it's okay to help other entrepreneurs and help one another to be there. Whatever it is your job description is in their office, to work and to do it, and do it with excellence. And tell it's your time.
Yeah. And when you were saying that, one of the books that I thought about for that mindset was Think and Grow Rich.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep.
He had to go sit and be an intern with somebody else to learn.
You do.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You do.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, ladies, for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I'm glad to know that me budgeting every month. Look, I'm a budget, what you call a budget-holic.
Good. I love it.
Look, I'll be glad on the day that somebody can do it for me. But to learn it and know, you got to know it for yourself before you can hand it over to somebody else.
Yep.
So
yep.
I might be in here crying and throwing stuff around in the room while I'm by myself till that time comes. But hey.
But then you know the importance of it. You know that, it's worth every penny of it for someone else to do this. Because then you also have a better conversations than you would just when it's just yourself. But keep budgeting. That is so key. So key.
Yeah. Awesome.
Excellent.
Anyway, I see success is not an accident. Let me write that down. I'm gonna look that book up.
Mm-hmm. And Angelina, I'm trying to look. It's hard to talk and read the comments at the same time. I don't know how y'all do that.
Miss Alla, you wanted to say something?
I just wanted to say that I really enjoyed your presentation, Consuela. Every time I hear you, it's just like, I just love to hear you talk, because I could hear just how passionate you are about the work that you do. And it's contagious. And so I applaud you. You are a self-made woman, from our community. I'm glad that you are pouring all of the love, all of the education, all of that back into our community. That is one of the things that I always wanted to do when I came back to South Bend. Before I lived in South Bend, I was in Indianapolis, and I sat on different boards and just different things. And I was like, you know what? This is all good and fun, but I think that going back home would be something that would be just, more passionate to me, to be able to be sitting on a board in South Bend or doing what I'm doing here in Indianapolis and South Bend. And to know that you have, been here, for the last 20 plus years with a very profitable business, you inspired me. And so I am just, in awe of everything that you're doing as a community. And thank you so very much.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you. But the feeling's mutual. You already know. Thank you. Thank you. It's not easy. It's not easy, but it's worth it. And what I realized early in life, I don't even allow my children to say easy. Just like can't say can't, don't say easy. Because, most things you're gonna have to work for it. You got to work through it. You got to process. Now the beauty of it is, though, what I love about technology now is that we do have an opportunity to share with one another, right? Where before we probably been able to doing things alone, but now we have an opportunity to collaborate, right? To make sure we're reaching out to one another. Angelina, we definitely going to do something. School age mother program. You just say that, and yes, because I was at the program at the Y as a school mother, school age mother. So I came through that program, and you're talking about money. And one thing that I'm going to be doing, even in this program, I remember I had to talking about budgeting. We just talked about tonight. Then at the age of 16, we had to go on interviews, right? 16, 17 years, we had to go on interviews. And they were teaching us how to interview. Well, for me, I went to Goodwill. I went to Goodwill because I needed something to my son needed something to wear, and I needed something to wear. And I ironed it up, went to that interview, and everybody else was a lot of the other women were name brand down. They had all the name brand, and all right, because I knew that, but they weren't ready. The kids was all dressed in daycare looking good, but they weren't. The name brands had whatever the shoes were at that time. but they weren't ready for interview. And I knew then that if I had to budget and to make sensible things so that he look good and I look good and I can be able to go out and make some money to be able to bring back in the fold, I had to do that. But I learned that skill in the school age mother program. And I got a job, even then working in an accounting department. So yes, I would love to help you out any way I can, Mrs. Jones.
Thank you, Ms. Consuela. I look forward to talking to you then.
Okay, sounds good.
Ladies, I want to thank you both for just pouring into us with all of this great information. And I love it, the support between both of you, Miss Tasha, Miss Consuela. You support each other, and that's awesome, and it's needed. And I continue to do that, So hopefully people will come under your fold and you'll continue to lift them up and, move them forward. Love it.
Marci, you are the bomb.com. All of this, none of this would have been possible without you. You have a way of drawing people and to hear what you have to say. And I tell you that all the time. I love that about you. So thank you for even considering, both of you ladies. Thank you for just what you're doing, because it does not go on unseen. And we need others to talk and to ring the bell and to shout it out, right, about the beautiful things women are doing in this community. And you're doing it, and you took the charge to do that. Where somebody else could have said, no, I'll do it next year, do it next time, right? But you're doing it now, and I appreciate that. I applaud you for that.
Well, thank you. It was all Dorlita. I just pushed her.
Collaboration. It's collaboration.
Look, Marci gonna stop saying it was all me. Yes, we are collaborating. I might be the tech guru, which that's what I do. If you ask me about some technology, if I don't have the answer, I'm gonna find it, because I have a passion for technology and I work in it actually every day. So I'm amazed to have this opportunity, for this to be laid in my hands, to be able to do this. I truly thank you, ladies, for just giving your time, because many people would have said, no, you got to pay me this, and that for me to come and talk to people, but you donated your time. So I do want you to know I have some amazing gifts for y'all. I didn't tell you before that. So I think I have Consuela's address. Tasha, I'm going to need your address so that I can, if you're in this area, I'm dropping them off. I'm telling you, I'm not putting them in the mail. I'm running errands and I'm dropping them off. Consuela, I already know where you are. Miss Tasha Reed, you just have to let me know where I will just put it in your mailbox. Don't worry about me being a stalker. That ain't even in me. I ain't coming back looking for you, but I do want to at least give you a token of appreciation for taking the time out to do this, and to just share the knowledge and resources that you have. Everybody is not doing that. So I am truly appreciative of you offering your time to us to be able to share this. And then it's something that we're making available. People can go back and they can view this at a later time. So it's going to be there. So if you want to be able to share it with somebody, it's on YouTube, and it's also live in the Facebook group. And when we're done, I'm going to post the link to the YouTube on the page where people register and sign up so that they can see all of the series that's coming. We're also going to, I'm in the stages right now of publishing the mobile app. So I do want to offer a directory spot to the ladies that are speakers for your business. So I will reach out to you to get all of your information for that. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the app coming. This will be a hub for people to connect. And when they're in that app, whatever information that you give for people to contact you, they can contact you directly from in the app. If it's your website, if it's a phone number, if it's your email, they'll be able to click that and contact you directly. And so I just want to be able to offer that. I don't know that there's a directory just for entrepreneurs. I know they have one for Black influencers. They have one for, I was talking to a lady about doing it for her, building her app for some nonprofits organization. But as far as a community for just entrepreneurs who are willing to collaborate, to network with each other. We have to, because we don't have all of the skills. We don't have everything. And somebody else is holding something that we need that could help us grow. So I want to make that available. And so Marci had mentioned much about the app earlier, but that network hub will be categorized by state. So people can go in to their state, or if they want to network or find some resources in another state to help them, they'll be able to do that in the app. And I say that one of the reasons I want to do that is because I didn't tell y'all, some know, but I have a nonprofit organization called Hidden in God. And one of the things that we do is a Feed 5 mission, which is where we feed the homeless and those that are in need. And when God gave it to me, it was on a national level. And so in order for us to be able to do it nationally, I have to network and meet people in other cities and states to be able to go there, know where to go, know where that homeless population is or those that are in need. And so I figured if my organization is in need of something like that, how many other organizations or businesses are in need of knowing, if they're supposed to go on a national or a global level, how do they reach those contacts? And so or even make those contacts or those connections. So that's one of the reasons too that I wanted to have this this app and this directory. So there it's, our theme is Diamond Entrepreneur. So you'll have the network hub. You'll have the Diamond Exchange, which is a place sort of like a services exchange where people can go in and put in what they're in need of. And then you have another space where people can go in and what they're willing to give. So that'll be the Diamond Exchange. And then you have the Diamond Mine, which is the directory. So just like you would go into a diamond mine looking for the diamonds, you can go into the directory and look for whatever business in whatever category it is that you're looking for. So I'm excited about that. There will be more to come on that. I'm actually in the publishing stages, and it takes Google and Apple some time to get all that in there. So it'll be launched after that. So that's the next exciting thing to come. For those that are here, go into the group. If you've not joined the Diamond Entrepreneur group, make sure you get in. That's where we'll be putting in the information. That's where we'll be sharing some things. That's where we can have some conversations, especially until the app comes along. Invite some others that this is not knowledge that we want to keep to ourselves, but we want to share it with as many people as we know how. And so I can't do that all on my own. It takes all of us to do that. And so invite some people to join who are in need of something. Look out for the newsletters that will be coming, so you can go and sign up for the newsletters. We're excited about that. You can go on the Instagram page we have, where we'll be doing spotlights of entrepreneurs and different business people, just letting you know who's out there, because there's so many that are hidden. And just like I didn't know Miss Tasha Reed Outlaw, how did I get to meet her and now hear all of the amazing information that she had? I networked with Marci. So, that's how this truly works. And I mean, I met Miss Consuela. It's been a minute. I can't even remember where we was at. Was it it was probably a conference or something.
You met her as she was at Kay's thing. I think that vision board party, was it?
We met before the vision board party. I don't know. Miss Consuela did my taxes. Okay. So we met well before then. I just can't remember where it was. I can't even remember. That's a shame. See, we creating a space where we're gonna be able to remember where we meet people at. Like, that's the Diamond Entrepreneur. That's that app. That's right. To all of you ladies that are here with us that were just joining in, is there anything that you want to say? Any comments that you have? I'm giving you the floor right now before we end. It's already 9 o'clock, and I don't want to hold us any longer than we have to be here.
I just want to say thank you to everybody for taking the time, all the great information. I aspire to all of you. You guys are wonderful, powerful. And tonight's been great and very, very informative.
Thank you, Miss Angelina. I have not had the opportunity to meet you, but I'm sure that that will happen in the future.
For sure. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. Anyone else? Going once? Like the auction? Going twice? All right, that is it. Well, if you enjoyed this, look, we have the next one coming up on the 16th. I think we are talking about, let's see, life skills. Life skills. So we're going to have insurance, Miss Kay Farlow, how to buy a car, Michelle Green, and how to buy a house, Miss Ramaya Brown. Yes. Look, I'm trying to read off my look. I'm not a notebook person, and I didn't wrote these notes down. I'm usually typing my stuff out on the computer, so when I write it, it's foreign. My own writing is foreign to me. All right, I'm trying to get back into it. I started back my journaling. So, all right. I'm excited about the next one. Y'all stay tuned. There will be a survey that we will be sending out. If I don't do it tonight, because I'm probably going to go to bed after this, I will send it out in the morning just to gauge, how you felt about the series, to get future topics, because we're going to do this again. We're going to do this quarterly. So this is going to happen now in the month of March, the month of June, September, and December. So we're going to do this series 4 times a year. And we want to know what it is that you all want to learn about, what it is that you want to gain. So we're going to send out that survey so we can get topics from you, see how you felt about what was said, what did you gain, what is it that we can do to make this better. And I'm excited that one of these times we're going to be doing this in person. We get back to doing it in person. That will be exciting. So I love you all. I truly appreciate you, Miss Marci. Is there anything I left out and anything you want to tell them before we go?
You covered everything. Ladies, once again, I want to thank you for coming in and pouring into all of us and to all our presenters, to all of our attendees. I want to thank you as well for just coming and spread the word. Let people know what we got going on. It's every Tuesday this month. Next Tuesday, as Dorlita said, lifestyle skills on March 23rd. We're going to be talking about entrepreneurship. So spread the word.
All right. And I don't care what this event is. I'm going to close it out with a short prayer, because that's who I am. When I leave a room, when I leave an environment, I got to close it out with prayer. I know God is always with us, but hey, that's just who I am. So Father, we thank you for allowing us to gather together. We thank you for allowing us to come together as a community, as women of like mind, oh God, to share what you have given to us. We thank you for the gifts and the talents that you have given to us. Let us not be like the one who buried his talent, but let us put every one of them to use for the glory of your kingdom. And we truly thank you that you go with us, that you will not leave us, but we thank you even more that you are depositing more wisdom and more knowledge into us, that we would not lack, oh God, in the name of Jesus, but that we will write the vision, we will run with it, and we will see what you have for us in the future. Even now, oh God, we thank you. We thank you for increase. We thank you for enlarging our territory. And I thank you for blessing each and every one of these women, these phenomenal women, even the men who are watching on our Facebook group. We thank you for every one of them in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Beautiful. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all.
Be blessed.
Be blessed. And we will see you in the next one.
Have a good one, ladies.
Bye.
Bye-bye.